Aside from already slicing myself open, but ow, that's
bleeding?
Almost certainly going to bleed in just a moment. Woo, good start. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, and I am out here at the two-gun match today, running all kit from the United Arab Republic, aka Egypt. The UAR was a political union between Syria and Egypt that existed from 1958 until 1961 only. And then Egypt kept the name until 71. But while they had that name, Egypt manufactured Rasheed carbines, the semi-auto 7.62x39. We just did a video about the Rasheed and also the Egyptian copy of it, the Baghdad. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. And then for a pistol, I have a Browning high power with a cool, nice crest there from the United Arab Republic. So I figured, why not pair that up with some Egyptian camo and have fun out at a two-gun match? So, 10-round mag, stripper clip loading, high power. This high power shoots really well, so that shouldn't give me any trouble. The Rasheed has been pretty good at the range, but let's see what happens on the clock. And it continues.
There you go. Is that the bad mag or the good mag?
This is the good mag. There we go. All right.
All right.
Let's do this quick before I bleed on everything.
Shooter ready.
Ready.
All right, so the course of fire here is there's one spinner, that's the only target. You have to hit the top plate and the bottom plate standing, then kneeling or sitting, and then prone. And
Holy crap, I can't see anything.
I got off to a good start, but man, having the target in the shadows like that, and also the tiny, tiny little sights on the Rasheed made this fairly difficult. It didn't help that I got a fair number of malfunctions in the Rasheed over the course of this match. Most of them just required me racking the bolt to clear. Not entirely sure what the issue is. I did test the gun out before the fact, before the match, and didn't have any trouble with it. I am using hollow point wolf ammunition, which in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe the lack of a complete point on the bullet was hindering the feeding. At any rate, that would happen to me a number of times. So having made those hits, you go over here and you have to hit the top plate and then the bottom plate from under the table and then from over the table. Now, the trick to this stage is you have to spin the spinner. You can either do it with the rifle from here, or you can do it from that prop up at the front of the range with pistol. After this, you have to go forward and do some pistol shooting. And I'm continuing to get malfunctions here. And I was having a very hard time, obviously, as I just said, seeing the target as well as hitting the target, as you can see. And rather than reload, I decided, screw it, I'm just going to take the penalty for not making the hit because I was afraid I was going to run out of time at this point. So instead, since I didn't spin the spinner with the rifle, I will have to spin it with the pistol. The plan here is hit it top and bottom from each of the 4 positions on this tree and then spin it. Now, the sights on this high power, this by the way is a United Arab Republic crested high power, so it matches the UAR Rasheed rifle that I'm running. And the sights were fantastic, the trigger was pretty decent. It's a really nice pistol overall. And I was able to make hits on the spinner without much trouble. In fact, I was able to make some doubles on the spinner, which you'll see here. But I just could not get it to spin. So it didn't help that my combo rifle and pistol mag pouch was very slow. I don't have any proper Egyptian or UAR web gear. Not that that would have been any faster than the stuff I was using. There you go. You can see I can make some double hits on it. And I can get it spinning fairly well, but when I empty a mag, and there are 13 rounds, once I empty that, the spinner comes back to almost a complete standstill by the time I can get the gun reloaded. So, I give it a good go here. I can get it moving pretty well. Like I got it over halfway on at least 2 of the 3 magazines here, but ultimately...
And I'm out of ammo.
Jordan tries to get me some extra ammo, but I'm out of time.
I could not see the sights and that spinner at all with the rifle. Like, I think the issue is the sights are in the sun and the spinner's, the target's in the shade. I said nothing. So I'm happy I made as many hits on it as I did.
Stand by.
Nice simple stage here. The outer two targets on the left and right are static. Hit them each twice with the rifle. Any hits that you miss, you have to make up with the pistol from that table up front. And then from the table, you have to engage the mini Mozambique, as well as the dropping targets. You'll see those in a minute. So once again, a malfunction with the rifle. You only had 8 rounds to work with because you only needed 8 rifle hits. Overall, the Rasheed's a really pleasant gun to shoot, but it kept giving me malfunctions and the sights were difficult. Now, these dropping targets they'll drop through 3 positions. And in theory, when you hit them, each time you hit them, they drop 1 notch. In practice, they didn't really. Sometimes they would drop, sometimes they wouldn't. And that was for everybody. So I managed to get them all the way down with a 9mm, but it took more than just 3 hits. The mini Mozambique, when you knock down the head, well, once the head is knocked down, hitting the center plate will pop it back up. So we had to hit the center and hit the head. Not consistently high here, but there we go.
That took me a little longer than I wanted it to.
It's a nice shooting pistol. All right, and the last stage, only 3 today, starts with pistol, 2 shots on each of the paper targets from each of these barrels. I took my time. I got good hits on these, and I shot this section of the thing completely clean. Like I said, this pistol shoots really well. The sights are perfectly zeroed. It shoots a very small group. It's a great little pistol, with the exception of the occasional random malfunction like that. Anyway, I only loaded it with 8 rounds, so the gun is empty. Go ahead and reholster it and then move to rifle, where we have 3 tank traps, 2 targets, 1 small and 1 smaller at about 150 yards. And you have to hit each target twice, and you can't double tap them. So 1, 2, 1, 2. I was surprised at how good of a start I got off to here, but it will degrade. So you can only see the left-hand target really from here. There's a couple paper targets down there that we're not using. Essentially, anytime you see a cloud of dust on the berm, that's me missing. If you don't see a cloud of dust, it means I hit the steel. So just once again, the sights on the Rasheed were hard. The gun is pretty accurate as long as you can line the sights up properly, identify the target, and get everything set up. This isn't a problem with the inaccuracy of the gun. It's a problem with me and the sights. It's also not the speediest thing ever to reload. The Rasheed does have detachable magazines, but they were issued with 1 magazine and stripper clips. So I do actually have a spare magazine for this. You heard someone mention that at the beginning of the match, but it's banged up and it doesn't actually work. So I left it at home and I just reloaded with stripper clips. Recoil is nice and pleasant. 7.62x39 is an easy cartridge to shoot. Overall, I would like this rifle quite a lot if I was able to shoot it a little better and if it didn't occasionally malfunction like that on me. So it's fun. This was really, I've had this rifle for a while, and this is just about the first time that I've shot it. When I got it, it had a broken firing pin, and I only just recently replaced that, which is what prompted me to do a video on it as well. Anyway,
come on.
1 more reload here.
All 10 rounds, I'm gonna need them.
Or will I really, though?
Fine.
I guess I'm not gonna need them. Well, I don't own any Egyptian headgear, so I was thinking about what to wear to the match, and I'm like, you know what? Everybody likes to be special forces, so let's do a beret and gray man aviators. Can't go wrong with that, right? So anyway, match was hard. The sights, by far the most difficult element of it was the sights on this Rasheed. Has a little tiny open square notch and a pretty small little front post, and the targets at 2-gun matches are pretty much always dirt colored. They are very specifically not painted. So I had a really hard time picking up targets and trying to get proper sight pictures. Still, I'm surprised at how well I was able to shoot even given that difficulty. I timed out on several of the stages. Don't know how exactly I did. You guys know how I did now because it's up there in the corner, but I haven't seen the results yet. So it was a fun match. It was very desert-like. We're out here in Arizona in the low desert in the summer. It's hot. It's somewhere in the high 90s or low hundreds out here. But fun time with a Rasheed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.